G'day viewers, well I actually replaced the idler wheel on this yesterday. The little rubber band I repaired it with, it actually failed halfway through playing one of those LPs. So I managed to find another perfectly just the right size rubber band to fit around the idler wheel behind here that drives the platter. That seems to have fixed it, but it's not the proper idler tyre for that wheel, but a little bit hard to find unfortunately. But yeah, I'm going to try and get this cassette player fixed, because it does stop intermittently. So I check the belt, check the little tyres behind here, the idlers that drive the take-up wheels, and see how they are. So yes, got a couple of screws there, and a couple around the back, and a nasty spot, so I get this all apart and I can start repairing the tape mechanism. If you to get this thing apart, there's two screws here, screw here, two here. I left the turntable assembly out, and there's a screw here on the back. Well, there isn't much to this little unit. It's a little circuit board, and that'll be the amplifier there. But it's all really good quality parts. So under this screw and the should allow the front to slide out. All Japanese made parts inside, which is a good thing. That should in theory slide out altogether, so you go back onto the workbench, so I'll just set this down. Okay. Some of the wiring doesn't allow, but there you go. We've got to the cassette mechanism here. Here's that belt I was talking about. So the gear jib in there, there's a little idler wheel somewhere here. Need a light and see what I'm doing. There it is behind there. A little rubber idler wheel. That's all gone. Look, it's perished. So if I take this, open this door, turn this. And yep, that's the idler wheel there, that little black thing. So if I can find something on that, find some sort of a band or a tyre I can put on that, and that should restore the this turns properly. So if I can find how to get this out of the way, that comes out there. And there's some wires there I've got to undo so I can slide this out more. Okay viewers, I can't really see it, it's dark, but I can set the light up properly here. The camera won't pick up. You can turn the flywheel here on the cap stand. That rubber tyre in there that drives the take-up wheel actually slips in a certain spot. So that rubber actually, yeah, it's shrunk a bit. It's lost its grip. So that's going to be a bit of a challenge to replace, because I might have to strip this whole mechanism down to get it out. See if I can find another way to fix it. We also use a tiny bit of methylated spirits and picked out a slippery gunk off that rubber drive wheel, the idler. A little bit of gunk on that. Still slipping there. I might have to somehow find a replacement for that. It's not very strong. It hasn't got much grip. Yeah, just bits of gunk on it. But the idler wheel has gone bad, which is why I just stops at a certain spot. So it just grip and it starts to slip. You can hear it if you listen carefully. Now it runs fine. Well, actually, this belt isn't actually as loose as I thought it was, so this belt might be okay. So I'll test the voltage going to the motor, see if it's getting the full 12 volts. So we've got come from there up to this little board with a run capacitor on it. So there, and that white wire should test the multimeter, see how much voltage you get. Okay, I'll turn it on. Hook it up the right way here. 12.87 volts, so I was getting the full voltage. See what we're getting across this capacitor if it measures anything. Yep, it's getting the right voltage across the electrolytic. Other side of the electrolytic, you're getting the same voltage at the other side of the capacitor, so that's all working properly. So there you go. Might be a little speed adjuster on that motor to try and compensate for the belt I put on this. You can see in the shaft of the motor there's a lot of the old belt remain on it. I managed to pick it when I first got this. I managed to pick as much as I could of that out because that was actually jamming up the motor. So I've actually had to dig a toothpick in there and dig it all out and lubricate the motor bearing, and so the motor runs freely. But the little idler there still seems to have trouble. There it is. What if I could just put a tiny bit of lubricant in the bearing and that little idler? See if that helps. There was a drive wheel on this capstan here. It seems to be clogged up. It's actually got splines in it that actually grip onto that little idler tyre. And this is actually yeah, clogged up with this crap. It's just all smoothed off and that's what's causing it to slip. So if I pull this capstan flywheel assembly off, that'll get me to the pulley and I can clean that little the splines out, and that should fix up the idler pulley on this, and it should work quite well. So I'm going to have to take all this off to get so those come off. That should slide out. So there's no circlip in there, so I can just pull that straight out. Get it a good clean, and it should work. Okay, there was a capstan just came straight out. Little brass bearing there, sleeve bearing. Pretty nice little mass there. So that's the little thing I'm talking about there. See all that gunk on it? I have to polish that and clean out those splines, and that'll restore the grip, and it should run on that idler tyre really well, and that take-up wheel shouldn't jam up anymore, and it should be working quite good. So let's give it a good clean and see how it goes. Okay, if you want to get this thing a good clean, all the murky rubber residue off it, just by giving it a little wash of methylated spirit to loosen it up, and a toothbrush and running it along the splines to pick out all the gunk. That seems to have worked quite well. There's no wear on it, it's just got deposits on it, so it should work a little bit better than what it did. And to replace that idler tyre, I can just take that little clip off and then I'll just slide off. Now re-lubricate these bearings, put it back in and give it a test. Now the wheels are all back together. Now time to give it a test. So reset this counter. Support the front, press play. Yeah, it still does it. So it looks like that tyre's bad. Yeah, the tyre must have a bad spot in it. But it's better than what it was. Now it just spins on the tyre. So yeah, I gotta try and get that tyre replaced if I can find a replacement. Okay, viewers, I got that little idler tyre off, that clip clips off, and here it is. As you can see, it's all perished and cracked. So if I can find a replacement for that, that'd be good. Doesn't feel as rubbery as I thought either, so I've got to find a new tyre for that, and it should work properly. So I'll look at my junk pile and see what I can find in my old scrap parts. Oh viewers, I got the tyre off. I've not found a replacement. I thought I had one, but I don't. So I'm just going to have to try an O-ring. I know it's a redneck repair, and it's probably not really a good idea, but I've got no choice at the moment, just try it. What size do I reckon it is? A bit too small. This is what I call a redneck repair. Too thin. Seems to be the right size though. Let's see how that does. Right, viewers, there's a redneck repair using an O-ring instead. Use this size here, which is R-13. 17.1 by 3 by 2.62 imperial size. Should work. I'm going to give it a try, see what it does. May not work, but it's worth a try because this thing has got no grip whatsoever left in it. It's just had it. So let's put it back together and see how it runs. Okay, viewers, well, it still does that problem after a little while. So I might have to use a bigger O-ring. Okay, maybe that's a little bit too small. Might have to try a bigger size. Okay, viewers, the next size up O-ring, and it seems to not skip a beat now. So yeah, it works quite well. Yeah, you have to just put a slightly oversized tyre on it and it worked. I'll have to same work with that using an O-ring instead. If that rubber band ever goes bad on this again, I'll put an O-ring on it next time and see how that works as an idle wheel on that. But this one here seems to be working a bit better. Now that it's slightly oversized. So yeah, I guess I'll put this, I'll give you a look at the circuit board first. Just the quality of it. It's a pretty good quality little unit. Earlier type looking circuit board. See if I can find a date code. There's a date code and a motor under here. I'll just see what time of year it was made. 4th of August 1983. There's a speed adjustment there. There's a nice big beefy power transformer. And there's some phono jacks for the pickup. It's kind of interesting. Used under there, and it goes into the board. There's the AM loop antenna. So yeah, it's always going to be good quality parts in this. You nip on chemical and capacitors and everything. Alright, time to put it back together and give that cassette player a test with an audio cassette in it this time. Okay, viewers, let's test it on this tape. This is an audio book being recorded over. Probably got some music on here, shouldn't play, but anyway, let's see what's on it. Yeah, it runs alright. Yeah. Looks like I was recorded off a scratch CD. Yeah, it plays at a better speed too. Was that all along? Poor speed was caused by that. That speed's still a tiny bit off, so, but it's a lot better than what it was. Now, that's working properly. I'm going to try and fix this. There's a broken bolt here on this turntable platter. This is steel, by the way, the steel plate. Here's the original bolt from here, this side. You can see there it's got a little bit of a recess where you can let it have some free play, so this can sit freely. But this one has actually been cross-threaded and broke. So if I can try and get that broken part out. So probably the best thing I could use is these bolt pliers. It doesn't look like it's going to be easy to drill out and use an easy out. So I'm going to try with this first. If it looks like I'm going to do too much damage, I'm going to have to leave it. Just leave it with one bolt because I don't want to risk damaging this and wrecking it. So let's see how that bolt plier set out a vice grip idea works. Okay viewers, I've tried the vice grip idea. Then I used some electrical pliers. Still with no luck, just could not get that out. Now it's going to have to stay like that I think, without bloody destroying it, so I'm just going to leave it with one bolt. So I put this all back together and sit back and enjoy the classic. So for now, thanks for watching.